How's everybody out there doing? Welcome to Idaho, folks. How are you guys doing tonight? It is another, well, amazing evening. We haven't had anybody get shot today, so we will take that as a plus, right, folks? For those of you who are interested and are aware of what is going on with a number of issues, please take time to go out today. I believe around 8 o'clock. There will be a vigil out at Boise Town Square Mall for the incident that happened Monday with regards to um, the Boise Town Square Mall shooting. Joe Aker and Mr. Rodriguez were two of the shooting victims, and our thoughts and prayers do go out for them tonight. So please, if you can, go to the vigil. In the meantime, yes, how you doing, Dan? Oh, yeah, they did. Um, but yeah, it's been life's been busy for you, life's been busy for me. But tonight, what we are here to talk about is how you can support your family and friends who do use medicinally, for your family and friends who do use responsibly and with a modicum of supervision by a physician, caregiver, or someone else who is helping them manage uh, their use of marijuana in a medical way. Now, a lot of this goes back, we got a number of different ways that this gets handled over the different years, and part of this is we pay attention to what is going on in their lives, so that we can help support them in ways that are meaningful. um there we go. um so the key for an awful lot of people, particularly when they start shifting towards medical marijuana, is it's a pain management program. Okay. Now, we talk an awful lot about how do we handle pain? How do we manage it? How do we control it for those people who have extreme cases of it as they go through their life and the things that come up for them? So, I have friends that have endometriosis. Okay. This is one of those things that attacks the nerves, it attacks the inside of the body, and it tears them apart on a regular basis. And anytime they have to deal, and this is particularly bad for women, because as they go through menstrual issues, as they start to cycle, uh, they end up in situations where they are in an extreme amount of pain because the way the endometriosis weaves its way into the muscles, into the body, when their body starts changing shape on the inside, it starts pulling at all of that and creates an immense amount of pain. So an awful lot of them, a lot of my female friends are using marijuana medicinally as a pain management program because it still allows them to function uh, in positive ways. We see the same situation in an awful lot of others. Trauma from car accidents. So an awful lot of people, after they get done with a car accident, they go into a pain management program, usually prescribed by a doctor, usually involves opioids, and they end up addicted because let's face it, opioids are addictive. They create addiction. The pain, the way it manages the pain, the way it works with the receptors in the mind, continues to change the way they perceive pain, changes the way they perceive life, and it creates a dependence upon the opioid in order to stay pain free. Now, the way medical marijuana works is it attaches itself to the same receptors as the opioids, but it doesn't create the same sense of dependence. It doesn't create the same sense of chemical dependency, nor does it create the sensation of disconnect that an awful lot of people find when they're as they start developing their opioid addiction in response to the pain management program. It's coming in evening, so the light wants to catch my beard in an interesting way. So I'm going to scoot back so that does not want to play nice today. There we go. Screen time. Always got to work with it. So now there's other things. One of the individuals who likes to tell her story fairly often is Tammy Duckworth. And she's been, no, that's not right. Is it? Anyway, her story happens to be renal cell carcinoma. She had kidney cancer. Now, yeah, there's a couple different ways that have been used to treat kidney cancer, renal cell carcinoma. Some are better than others, of course, as you start going along and you find out what works, what doesn't work. A lot of doctors still like to prescribe chemo. Um, there are some physicians that look at that and go, no, chemo does not work, not on kidney cancer. I happen to have one of those physicians. I had renal cell carcinoma. Now, I didn't use medical marijuana as my cure all. I managed to catch it early. And because of the location of the tumor, my doctor gave me the advice radical nephrectomy. He went in, he pulled it out, less than a week. I didn't even know I had it before he already had the plans and had me a table booked at St. Luke's in order to do the radical nephrectomy. Now, Tammy, she had a significantly more advanced, and she was able to treat it using marijuana medicinally. She considers that to be what saved her life. Now, this is other things. Glaucoma, helps relieve pain associated with glaucoma. It helps slow down the degenerative process in the eye so that people can continue to see longer. And in some cases, even eliminate the glaucoma, which causes the blurred vision. So when it comes to reasons why it is important to make sure the medical marijuana is available to those people in Idaho, we have so many different reasons. Another one that's particularly popular with work that I've done here recently in the last couple of years, post-traumatic stress injury. Okay. Post-traumatic stress causes an awful lot of different symptoms. Um, and most people self-medicate as a result. And this is one of the reasons why it's important to get involved in a healthy regimen related to post-traumatic stress injury, healing, and recovery. Reason why is because we do tend to self-medicate. We do tend to resort to means that aren't in our own best interest, aren't in the best interest of those people around us. Awful lot of people who are dealing with post-traumatic stress injury, alcohol. That's actually a big one here in the state of Idaho is alcohol. People go and they get drunk because they don't want to deal with the trauma. They don't want to deal with the memories. They want to be able to repress them. They want to be able to push them back. Alcohol relieves the anxiety. It allows them to behave in different ways than where they're not dealing with the guilt, where they're not dealing with shame, survivor's guilt, rape trauma. All of these are related to military sexual trauma. All of these are related to some form of post-traumatic stress. Now, one of the nice things about medical marijuana, when it's used properly in conjunction with therapy, yes, therapy, is it helps remove some of the anxiety, some of the things so that you can actually deal with the issue. Question is whether or not you were using your medicine responsibly or irresponsibly. One of the reasons for being able to have therapists who are qualified to work with medical marijuana in the field, so that we can maximize the benefits of the medicine, maximize the benefits of the therapy, so that people can recover from these post traumatic stress injuries with greater speed, and more completely, more thoroughly. They reduce the anxiety that's associated with post traumatic stress injury. There's no longer that constant vigilance that's usually associated with it. The constant vigilance is one of the reasons why people often resort to alcohol for the post traumatic stress injury rather than, some of the other things that we can use. Now, okay, awful lot of you out there going, yeah, Joe, but marijuana doesn't work for everybody. Correct. Marijuana does not work for everybody, but it does work for a lot of people. David, thank you for your comments here. So, David, I've always smoked because I feel more in control of my anger and rage that I had when I was younger. Pretty much like myself, I like myself better when I'm on cannabis. Absolutely, David. And that's one of those things. It's one of the reasons why cannabis is preferred for an awful lot of people, an awful lot of users to alcohol. Reason why is because it does allow you control, because it doesn't debilitate you in the same way. It helps remove the anxiety, it helps remove the rage, makes it easier. One of the things, glad you brought up the issue of anger and rage. Okay. Now, in a lot of states across the United States where it's been legalized right now, we've been getting reports back from the police departments as far as the effects of legalized marijuana, medical marijuana, recreation, whatever you want to call it, legalized marijuana in those areas where it's been used. And the police are coming back with these reports saying that, one, their domestic violence reports are down. Yes, they are. Domestic violence reports are down because people are smoking rather than drinking. We like this. This is a good. Domestic violence reports down means people aren't getting hurt. One of the other things that's coming out of that is when police are called on domestic violence issues, the injuries on scene, on site, when the police arrive are almost always significantly less than the types of injuries that occur when alcohol has been involved. Okay. Now, this is an issue of recreational medical. Domestic violence is often associated with stress. Post traumatic stress injury is usually one of those keys for domestic violence. Okay, not saying it's right, but it's one of those things. We've seen it in police officers. We've seen it in veterans, combat veterans that have come back from Afghanistan and Iraq. We see the way post-traumatic stress injury, because of the anxiety, the way it's associated, the way certain memories can create, or certain triggers can create a full immersion episode of the memory, so that people aren't aware of, or they don't see their family, friends, or loved ones in the same light. This makes it extremely dangerous as we go on, especially with moral injury, a number of things like that. So, medical, use of it responsibly, use of it in the home, whether we're using it medicinally, under supervision, or even recreationally, which is, as most of us know who are trauma survivors, uh, it's self-medication. It really is. Anytime somebody gets into a situation where they're using some kind of drug, it's ultimately a form of self-medication. It is a means of deadening the pain. It is a means of placing themselves outside of themselves long enough so that they can feel something different than the life they live, the life they go through. And when we start looking at medical programs, the way we use medicine, the way we use drugs, whether we're using the psychotropic drugs like what's used in PTSD recovery, in which certain states actively advocate for the use of marijuana for PTSD recovery. We've also seen claims for microdose of other drugs. We won't mention those here. Do your research, folks. But we have a number of different things that are capable of providing and assisting, in post-traumatic stress injury recovery. Stressors, eliminating stressors, allowing people to be more themselves, and in some cases, actually be able to recover memories associated with the trauma so that the healing can be better expedited. These are all great benefits of medical marijuana that we are not able to take advantage of here in the state of Idaho, simply because, one, it's illegal. Two, American Medical Association doesn't allow the doctors to recommend or treat with it. So the idea of getting psychologists certified to issue the prescriptions, you end up with a medical doctor who's not worried about their license, like what we had in California, doing prescriptions all the time, and not necessarily for what somebody came in for to get the marijuana to treat, but they give some other reason that it become associated with an acceptable. This is not a good practice. And it's one of the reasons why the medical programs in so many other states have not succeeded as well as we wish they would have. So what do you guys got? Questions? Tell me about your situation. I've been talking here for about 20 minutes about, what medical marijuana can do for your friends and family, those people who have been through trauma, those people who are dealing with pain, cancer survivors, even cancer sufferers. We all have these things that are really extremely important to people in our lives. There are reasons why the people in our lives use. There is a reason why people in our lives are part of that $2 million a week migration over into Ontario, Oregon, in order to buy it legally so they can turn around and drive back across the border and use it illegally here to help them manage whatever pain it is that's causing them to go across the border. So, again, one of those things, we want you to sign the petition. Sign the petition, yes. You see that? Sign the petition. Find friends, talk to your friends and family. If you use, talk to your friends and family about why you use and why it's important that they help you get it legalized for your use here in the state of Idaho. That's it. You people need to convince your family, and they need to understand that your use, for whatever it is you need it for, could literally send you to prison in the state of Idaho. And you need them to sign the petition on your behalf. You can go to the page. We got it on kindidaho.org. Pay attention to what's going on there. We can get you on our mailing list. Yes, we got a newsletter that goes out once a week, sometimes a little bit more often, sometimes a little bit less. But we got a newsletter that keeps you in tune with what's going on, where you can go sign, what events are coming up, where you can volunteer, how you can volunteer, how you can donate. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and get that little piece of the bit out of the way. So, we have an Act Blue page. Yes, we do. See whether or not I can find it here real quick. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this here in a little comments. Those of you who are aware, this is our Act Blue page right here. We're going to go ahead and set up a little banner, scroll across the bottom here. Kind Idaho, secure, act blue, donate at kind-idaho-1. Donate. Tell your friends about this page. Go donate, because this is what allows us to print off the petitions. This is what allows us to keep the doors open. This is what keeps us up and operational. This pays for our website. This pays for, oh, literally, that's it. It pays for our website. It pays for our communications. It pays for your ability to contact us at email. This is part of our Google Suite. So you can send emails to Jackie. You can send emails to me. You can send emails to pretty much anybody on our team, whether they're talking communications, whether they're talking about other issues. See, if you're interested, that's my email. Send questions there. Send questions to joe@kindidaho.org. I'll answer those questions here next week. In the meantime, one of the other things some of you guys have been curious about is what's going on in other parts of the state, other organizations. We have one of our sister organizations has recently had to go through a transition. They're currently working with another, which is a decriminalization bill for personal use levels. Not exactly the thing we're working on. Our big focus is medical marijuana. We want to make sure medical marijuana is made available. And there's actually no reason why both of these can't coexist. Reason why is because sometimes you don't have your card on you, and you really shouldn't be harassed by the police over a personal use level of marijuana because you left your medical card at home. So we got people that are working on that. Now, there is an amazing group out there, and I want to go ahead and give them a mention. So Mary Jane Oatman. Let's see. I want to make sure I get this right. Reason why is because, I am notorious for screwing this up on a regular basis. And Mary Jane Oatman is associated with a nonprofit organization right here in Idaho. Right here in Idaho. Okay, this is the ICANN-CC. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to go ahead and share this screen. Reason why is because this is a really awesome screen to be sharing. Let's see whether or not I can do it here. Oh, man. Okay. Wants to be difficult. So we're going to do this a little bit different way here. Give me a moment. And Mary Jane Oatman is with the Idaho Cannabis Indigenous. Okay. We shall try this again. Share screen, and this is going to be there we go. Okay, this is Indigenous Cannabis Coalition. Mary Jane Oatman is actually an Idaho resident. She does the THC magazine. Okay, for those of you who aren't familiar, okay, well, it's Northern Light Cannabis Company is one of the organizations that works with them. But please go take a look at what they're doing. This is a First Nations economy doing things on Nez Perce land in northern Idaho and Washington. Well, not in northern Idaho. You can't grow in northern Idaho yet, so they aren't actually growing in northern Idaho. However, Indigenous Cannabis Coalition is doing advocacy out of northern Idaho and western Washington. Please go like them, follow them on what it is they're doing, the things that they are making positive impacts on, because this is one of those things that's extremely important to us, to them, to Idaho and America in general here in the Pacific Northwest. Support them, go buy some of the merchandise, let them know what's going on, believe in them because we believe in them. And yeah, just amazing stuff all the way around. And really appreciate the work that they've been doing, building that over the past couple of years. So anyway, it's going to wrap it up for me, folks. Go see what the Indigenous Cannabis Coalition is doing. Go see, pay attention to our page. Ask me questions. I will answer. And give me an idea about what it is you want to hear, what you want to talk about. If you have somebody that you want to see me have a conversation with on Kind Idaho Live, yes, Kind Idaho Live, you know somebody who wants to come on, who wants to talk about medical marijuana, who wants to talk about responsible, educated, and informed use of marijuana in the state of Idaho, and about how you can get medical marijuana legalized in the state of Idaho, please send requests. Give me contact information. Let me know. If you want to come on and talk with me, let me know. In the meantime, you guys have a great day. Remember, kindness goes a long way. Be kind, Idaho. Love you guys. Peace out.